Hey, y'all, I had to take a pause for a minute. Um, but s- what, continuing off, stating to the point of the seed, and I will have it um, split up for you to be able to check part one and part two. So, this is part two after we've talked about the relationships and having the baby and how those relationships began. So, the point of the seed, what you end up hearing oftentimes from the mother is that I carried the baby. It's my baby. Those type of things, as though they were able to create the baby without the father. Miss, if you didn't have the man, you wouldn't have that said baby that you claim so hard to be yours and solely yours. So it's true that we can't have the baby without you either, but we do choose who we give the seed to as the male. It is up to us who we decide to lay with, who we decide to procreate with. The baby is ours first, and that's why we love differently. When we look at the child, yes, you've bonded with that child. He's been inside of you, she's been inside of you, growing, developing, and that is a bond that, like no other. And that goes into what I was saying a few minutes ago about how the relationship with the mother and father is completely different, but both are needed. Both portions of the relationship for child development is needed. The father looks at the child like he came from me, she came from me. That's from my loins, as we say. And that's from inside of me. We carried them first before you. So it is never fair, it is never just to think for a second that we don't care for the child as much as you, or that you have more right to the child simply because you carried him 9 months. Well, lady, I had to give you what I gave you in order for you to be able to carry said child. Am I not correct? Makeup, it's the chemical makeup, it is the testosterone, logic, all those things make us love different, and there's nothing wrong with that. As mother and father, those are what make us love different. So, mother's love is beautiful, father's love is beautiful. Unless he is a piece of trash or something extreme, let that man be a father and stop being selfish. Stop being so selfish about it. Cannot stress enough the natural design for a child's development, for a child, for mother and father to pour into the child. Without the guidance, the strength of the father, there are things that are missing out. In the wild, they get it. They get it in the wild. Does that dad does the dad things. He commands certain respects. He's able to tell the animal, go away, I don't feel like playing with you right now. And then there are times he'll tolerate it. Mother, on the other hand, she's the one with a little more patience. She's the one showing him how to hunt, how to jump, how to play. Most of the time, the gorilla, the chimp, the lion, the giraffe, the birds, all of these animals understand this aspect of what it is for the role of the father and the role of the mother. The only animals in the wild that I know of that are highlighted that do not follow this structure in nature are hyenas. The way that the hyenas treat the male is it is preposterous. It is bad. It is how you all treat the black boy. Yes, there are white mothers as well that do these things. And not, like I said, it is not. This is for all races, all genders, but it is really also for the ones that want to change. If you don't want to change, if you don't want to hear about how the black man can do better, how the black woman can do better, don't tune in. But I'm going to be honest about these things. We act like hyenas. The women act like hyenas towards the male. Any time, even if the boy has submitted, once he is no longer your baby pup, and he starts to be 12, 13, 14, and starting to remind you of the man that you laid down with a little bit more, it's like any ounce of confidence that he's getting, you want to destroy instead of boosting him up. The hyena will treat the male as a second class citizen. He eats last, all of that. And he has to respect the hierarchy of all the women around him, all the female hyenas around him, should I say. And when it comes down to how we act, black women and black men are closer to hyenas, but love to say how we are kings and queens as if we have a hierarchy like a lion. We do not have a lion and lioness. I mean, we're not kings and queens, most of us. Everybody cannot be a king and queen anyway, because if we did that, then who's going to serve? That is nothing wrong with serving. Everybody not built to be a leader. Everybody is not built to be a leader. And we have to know our role. We have to know our where we stand, where we fit best, and where we will excel the best. So for the hyena attitude of treating these boys this way, even after a male, the male boyfriend, father, husband, once he has submitted, you're still gnawing on his ear. Hyenas gnaw on ears as a sign of discipline. The clip that people know about is very popular. There's a hyena, and I'm guessing it's a male. He got his ear chewed off. No, the ear is gone. He's sitting there, okay, I quit. You win. I don't want to get kicked out the clan. This is where I get my meal at. Where else I'm going to go? I done let you chew my whole ear off, and you still gnawing at it. He want to snap, but he can't snap at her. He has to sit there and take it. You all are like angry hyenas, angry for no reason, a lot of times doing it just because you can, and to destroy the confidence within the male and keep chewing on an ear that is already no longer there. Anytime, every time. Tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me when I've said something that is wrong about it, and I will apologize full heartedly. But the fact that the women continue to take over all the aspects of the children until the time comes that they turn 18, 15, 16, after all that time of not letting the father be involved, then you'd like to say, hey, come get your child. After all those years, you can't see my baby. These are my babies. You left us. You hurt us, including the babies when the babies had nothing to do with it. Your personal relationship, your pride, your ego, and your breakup didn't have anything to do with that man having a relationship with his children. And this is all I'm asking you women, and especially to the sisters, that you would consider this a little bit more instead of saying, come get your child after the damage has been done. We have seen the studies that, or the stats that show children that live with the father tend to fare better. If you got a bad child, you just have a bad child, and sometimes it's not even a bad child. Things just happen to where they end up getting in situations and going to prison. But what it's showing is that children that have been living with their father don't end up in prison, end up having a little more structure, end up being productive members of society. Whereas when they've grown up with a single mother into that household, we know how a lot of times that goes, because a woman is not going to be able to tell a boy that is turning into a man how to conduct himself. And even though he reveres you and loves you and falls under the hierarchy of respecting the women in his family, he is still going to try to find his way, and he does not know what he is doing. Therefore, he gets into trouble. If you would have sent the boy to be with the father a few more times in the summer, or a few more times throughout the year, that may have been enough to save him from making some of these decisions. So unfortunately, I have to put most of the failures with our prison systems on the single mothers that decided to keep the man out of the house for Section 8, that decided to have an ego and have pride and not accept their role as a woman, and decided to let Uncle Sam tell you that you can do better without him, and I will take care of you. You all bow down to everyone else except us. And when you hear bow down, when you hear serve, when you hear submit, you think of it as bad. But let me know, how many times have we served you? How many times have we submitted to you? Going to the malls with you on Saturday, doing the honeydew list, buying you things, even when you are not keeping your full end of the bargain for us. And that's because we love you. So you talk about you're not protected. You talk about we don't love you. Talk about we want white women and other people. No, we wanted you first, but we're tired of you dogging us out. So I ask you, for the sake of the children, the next generations, take a look at yourself, remove the ego and the pride, and when you all have conversations about your child, make sure it is still your baby, but you're saying, he is no longer a baby, she is no longer a baby, I need your help, can you take your child? And it does suck that we have to fix all the mistakes that you made and try to put structure into this now adult man. So, but we do it because we love our children. And we've been waiting on that moment ever since we broke up for a time to have fun. We have been waiting on that moment from the time that you and I broke up and from the time that we learned that we were having a baby. A lot of times we stayed because we knew that it would be harder for you, for us to see the child if we did not stay with you. So your baby is no longer your baby. As soon as he turns into a man or a woman, now it's come get your child. This is Dad's Love 2. I'm J.O. asterisk for explicit, asterisk for the star. Thanks for tuning in with me. I'll catch y'all on the next one.